My family tried selling my quantum research for $4.6 million. It just got licensed for $5.1 billion. I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but I can't really say this out loud to anyone in my life without it sounding either bitter or arrogant or both. I'm not sure if I need advice or just to let it out of my system, but here goes. I grew up in a family that was never really close. We weren't cruel to each other or anything like that, but we were never the type to sit down and have heart-to-heart talks or show much support. My parents both worked a lot, and my siblings and I more or less raised ourselves. There was always this sense that money and success were the only things that mattered. Everything else, like emotional support or encouragement, was optional. When I was younger, I fell in love with physics. It wasn't something anyone in my family understood or cared about, but I couldn't get enough. I would sit for hours with textbooks or online lectures, even when everyone else was watching TV or going out. My dad used to tell me I was wasting my time because nobody makes money off that unless you're Einstein. I used to laugh it off, but it always stung. My mom was quieter about it, but I could see in her face she didn't really think I'd go anywhere with it. Fast forward years later. I stuck with it. I got scholarships, worked through school, slept in labs, ate ramen and cheap pizza, and did every odd job under the sun to stay afloat. I pushed through because it was the only thing that made sense to me. My family never came to see my presentations, never asked about my research, never even read a single paper I published. But suddenly when things started picking up in the field, they became very interested. For the past decade, I've been working on a project involving quantum error correction. I know that probably sounds boring or like science fiction, but in short, it's one of the major hurdles in making quantum computing practical. For years, it felt like I was screaming into the void. Rejections, funding cuts, people telling me it would never work. Then one day, out of nowhere, we had a breakthrough. The kind of breakthrough you can't explain in words because it changes everything. We developed a method that massively improved stability. Suddenly, companies that had ignored us were calling nonstop. That's when my family suddenly remembered me. Out of the blue, my older brother reached out, saying he wanted to help me handle the business side. At first, I thought it was nice of him. Then I found out he had been contacting potential buyers behind my back. He tried to cut a deal with a group of investors to sell my research outright for $4.6 million. Without asking me, without even fully understanding what he was offering. When I confronted him, he acted like I should be grateful. He said that kind of money would set me up for life. He told me I was being stupid for not taking it. He even pulled my parents into it, and suddenly I was facing 3 people telling me that I was arrogant, that I didn't know how the world worked, that I was throwing away a once-in-a-lifetime chance. They made me feel like I was insane for saying no. I can't describe how crushing that moment was. All the years of being ignored, all the sacrifices I made, and now when there's finally something real on the table, they were trying to cash out behind my back. I left the house that night shaking. I couldn't even cry because I was so numb. But I held firm. I kept going with my team. We negotiated carefully, brought in real legal help, and just last month we finalized a licensing deal with one of the largest tech companies in the world. The total value over time is $5.1 billion. Not million. Billion. When I saw the final number, I had to sit down because my body literally went weak. I thought about my brother almost selling it for $4.6 million, and I nearly threw up. Now here's the part one can't say out loud. I don't know what to feel. Everyone thinks I should be celebrating. People are calling me a genius. My inbox is full of messages from strangers wanting to partner or invest. My life has completely changed. But inside, I feel mostly empty. Because my family doesn't see me. They only see dollar signs. Since the deal was announced, my parents and siblings have been constantly texting me. Suddenly they want to meet up, have dinners, talk about the future. But I know what it's really about. Every conversation eventually circles back to money. They hint about houses, cars, helping out the family. My dad even said I owe it to them because they raised me. Raised me. These are the same people who laughed at me for years and try to sell my work behind my back. The worst part is I feel guilty for not wanting to share. I feel like I'm being cold or greedy. I have more money than I could ever need. But I can't get past the fact that when they had the chance to be there for me, they weren't. And when they did show up, it was to sell me out. How do you forgive something like that? I catch myself replaying the moment I found out about the secret deal. My brother leaning back like he was proud of himself. My mom saying I was being ungrateful. My dad telling me nobody in their right mind would walk away from $4.6 million. And I keep thinking about how if I had caved, if I had let their voices override mine, everything I worked for would have been gone. I don't know if I'll ever look at them the same way again. I don't know if I should cut them off completely or just keep them at arm's length. Part of me still loves them. They're my family. But another part of me feels like the bond is broken forever. I haven't told anyone in my circle the full story. To them, I'm just this lucky scientist who struck gold. They don't see the personal side. They don't see the family dinners where every question is about how much I'm making. They don't see the way I sit awake at night wondering if I'll ever feel like I belong anywhere. I thought success would fix everything. I thought if I just worked hard enough, people would finally respect me. But it turns out success just made the cracks more obvious. It showed me who was really in my corner and who was waiting for a payout. I'm trying to hold on to gratitude. I know I've been given something incredibly rare and valuable. I want to use it to do good things. But right now, I just needed to get this off my chest. Because I don't feel like a winner. I feel like someone who lost their family at the exact moment the world thinks I won.